Welcome to Art Talk with April, Season 2 Outtakes. Let's get started.
I have another event that's coming up next month, and literally I just finished up a show. You know how normally you get flyers on your car? So I'm like tired. I'm packing stuff up in the car. I'm like, what is this? I normally take a flyer and I just toss it. And something was like, read the flyer, Davina. And I read the flyer and it was for like this market. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I was just like, I know that this is already going on, but since they host this market, they got to host more. Yeah. So then literally kept the flyer, went online, checked them out, saw that they had a whole bunch of stuff, and they have like a ladies market night. So it's all women vendors and selling all sorts of stuff. And so I'm participating in that. So I literally took that and found an opportunity and created something for myself to make it work. Wow. So yeah, that's literally what I've been doing is like, hey, creating and making opportunities. Like, you can definitely do this full time. You could definitely be able to survive on this if you grind and you do it. Yeah. And you make that commitment and you keep it moving.
I tell you what, like that is so inspiring because I think a lot of artists, especially new artists, you know, they're like sort of waiting around to be seen. You know, like they're like, you know, I'm gonna put my stuff out there. And then hopefully the right person will see it.
Yeah.
And give me an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And put me in their gallery or put me, you know, in this festival or whatever. But the way you're going about it, oh my gosh, that is so fantastic. Because I mean, you are making it happen.
Oh, I have to. That's like when I said, hey, I'm going to go part-time, pursue this full-time. Like how I do at any other job, I'm just like, hey, I'm just do that for myself. Yeah. So the way I work at work is the way I'm working for myself. I'm just like, what other opportunities do we have? Do we have something for next month? Like literally when I was like, I'm gonna go part-time, I literally had an event that month. And then I was just like, and then I literally had everything scheduled up to March. So from November, March, I had everything already like book. And I was just like, I'm going to be busy the next couple months. And then once I started getting closer to March, I was like, I need more stuff. So like, because of the chocolate and art show, I met with some artists and I was talking to them and they were like, oh, are you going to do the pancake and booze show? And I was just like, oh, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. But I told myself I want to travel. So of course the New York show is at the end of the week. And then I'll be in Austin in April for the pancake and booze show. So I was just like, I'm just, you know, working it up. So, and then for May, I don't have anything planned for May, but I'm thinking I want to go ahead and get started on my webtoon. Because I was just like, I really wanted to do webtoon. It's probably going to be a short one, but I just wanted to go ahead and just get it out and see the process and see it through, see it to fruition. And if I really like it, then keep doing it. Because I've always wanted to do that. Like even when I was little, I would write stories. I used to love writing stories and just, you know, creating them and drawing them in high school. I used to like make my own little comic book. And so I was just like, I've always wanted to do something like that. And since, you know, social media, and now we got apps that have our webtoons on them now. And so now it's easy to, you know, set up and put on there and put it out there. So I want to do that too. There's so much
awesome. That's fantastic.
Oh man. And then one thing that not a lot of people might know, but people close to me know, I'm a bit of a sneakerhead. I love shoes. I have an obsession with shoes. I do. Like I worked for Payless for like 6 years and then I worked for Lady Foot Locker for like 2.5 as assistant manager. So when I love shoes, I love shoes. So I started like back then, whenever I was working Lady Foot Locker, I started like customizing shoes. And so like I've always wanted to go back to that. So I purchased a pair. I got the Anglers leather paints, and I'm going to be working on a pair to get that done. I'm going to be working on that as soon as this interview is over, because I want to take them to New York with me. So I'm super, super excited for everything's to come, but I'm grinding it out. And so you're just going to see me doing all this random stuff.
Look, I feel like you're just taking advantage of today's opportunities. I mean, that's really what you're doing, but you're also using the technology to bring stuff to you, you know. And then, like you said, you were at the one event and other artists were like, hey, are you going to this event? And so then you're making connections with other artists and they're sharing, you know, things that are going on. And I mean,
Yeah.
that's just fantastic. That's the way to do it.
Oh
It
yeah.
is.
And then like the thing is that I know that some people, think of like, oh, I do art, so I'm gonna make a business, I'm gonna make a whole bunch of money. But I'm just like, my goal at any of these events, I'm not expecting to make a dime. I wasn't expecting anybody to come up to me and be like, I want to buy this, this, and that. I'm expecting to meet people who love art, do more networking, and find out more stuff and learn as much as I can. That's basically my goal every event I do. And I know that it's not cheap to do all this. Like, well, not all of it's super expensive, but events do vary in cost. So basically, when I make money, I recycle it back into my business and invest in doing other things and putting myself out there. So I'm not making six figures or anything like that. Definitely beginning stages, but I feel like the investment is worth it. And just really just I want to be happy, and this makes me happy. So grinding it out and like learning to like, advertise myself and like really talk. That's another thing the artist sound about. It's just like, I'm just like, I do art, and people are like, you're an artist, you do art, and then they see it, they're just like, oh, you really do art, like, really? Like, why haven't you told me? I've known you for how long? Like, we were working together since, and you haven't. Davina. And I'm just like, so like, I'm getting used to like talking about it and being like, hey, I have this going on. You should come check me out. Hey, this, that, and that. And yeah, so it's just a lot of changes because like, there's this artist I follow. He posted this meme of like what artists do. He's like, you're a social media director, you're a merchandiser, you're like, you wear all different hats.
And you're talking about animation and doing web comics and doing shoes, and you're like,
oh yeah. The thing is that I've never been one person who's like, I only could do one thing and one thing only. I don't think any artist is a one-trick pony. Let's be honest. And I feel like sometimes with social media, people feel like they're trapped to do one thing because that's what people expect of you. And I want people to expect nothing. I want you to expect so when the next random thing I do comes up, you're ready. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh, awesome. Oh, she's doing shoes now. Okay. Oh, she's doing this now. Oh, all right. Like, oh, she's doing that. Oh, okay. So like, if you're following me, you're expecting the unexpected. You're gonna have something random pop at you, and you'll be like, "What is she doing now? Like, what is she doing?" So
I mean, you just got to do. I mean, like man, I feel like you're on the really like the right path, and the way you're going about it, and the perspective that you have, and your mindset is exactly where you need to be. Because I think, what happens is a lot of artists just sort of, like I said, wait around for something to happen.
Yeah.
And so many people do that there's this idea that being an artist is almost impossible, right? Like, it's like to be successful as an artist isn't possible, but it really is if you have the right mindset and perspective, and you're honestly like you said, hauling ass and getting things done. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing it, you're making connections, you're networking, you're not having these crazy expectations, but you're being blessed with all this stuff that's going on. And it's just like it from your story, it seems like it's just snowballing,
It is.
and getting bigger and bigger and busier and busier.
Yes. And it's amazing. And I really thank God, because I'm just like, look, I went from like being like just like being scared and just really it wasn't any outside forces who were like, oh, you can't do it. Oh, like literally I would tell someone my idea. They're like, yeah, you can do it. I'm just like, I can't. So internal. Like it took a lot. Like I just started like a spiritual journey, and I was just like had to ask myself the hard questions and really look at myself and really be like, you are stopping yourself from being happy. And that's it. You are making yourself unhappy. How long you want to be unhappy? How long you want to keep doing something that you don't want to do for the rest of your life? Like, you just have to ask yourself certain questions and just be really honest. And if you don't like the answer, do something about it.
Yeah.
Just do something about it. And it's crazy. Like, I really was thinking in my mind, people were going to be like, Davina, are you nuts? You have kids. Why would you go part-time at your job to pursue art? This is nuts. But no one said that to me. Everybody's like, we were about time. We've been waiting for you to do something. It's like, you're talented. Everybody's been telling you. I'm just like, oh, okay, I got it. Had to work on my there. So I think majority of the time, whenever it comes to artists, we are our own worst critic. We are like, I don't know, like, I guess since we're so creative and we create so many things, we also can create that negativity as well within us that stops us from doing things. That whole waiting for someone to come in, like, there's no knight in shining armor in life. Like, there is none.
No one's gonna come save you.
like I'm not Ross Dross. I'm not like, no, for real. Like, I'm not one of these major digital artists that like, my work ultimately one day maybe I'll be that great. But like, I'm not there. So I'm not expecting anyone to see my art and be like, oh, I'm gonna pay you $1 million to do this. Like, no. Like, I mean, ultimately that'd be amazing. Like, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, one day, but I'm not expecting that to happen now. So I know that I'm on a journey. I'm always working on my stuff. I'm willing to invest in educating myself more on art. Definitely self-taught artist, but I realized that, hey, if you really love what you're doing, you're going to invest in it. So I did take a course at CGMA, just redoing the basics. Because, you know, in high school, I was like part of the National Art Honor Society. So like, I took a lot of art classes in high school because I really, really wanted to get better. Yeah. But like, you forget a lot of things. like it's been a long time in high school. So like, I forgot a lot of things. So when I retook that course, I believe it's like early 2021 or late 2020, somewhere around there, I retook the basics course. And when I say that, my art just upped its game. And because like, just the basics, just going back and doing the basics. So like, you know, let's draw circles and triangles, and this is how you make a cube, and do like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it really helped me to remember like all the different hacks and stuff, like all the different tips and tricks and stuff. Like, man, like, I was thinking about this morning. Oh, I think a lot. Let's put it like that. I was thinking about this morning because like, whenever it comes to digital art, people are like, oh, it's easy because you could cut and paste and you could duplicate and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, it's not easy. But the thing is that you have tips and tricks when it comes to drawing physically too. I'm like, an eraser is definitely a tool that you have on both. And I'm just like, and then the way that you go about like shading, like, you don't necessarily have to just shade with just a pencil. You could, you know, get your Q-tip or get your stump, and you just, you know, you create it. So I'm just like, there's so many ways to go about it to create what you want to create. So I feel like having that artillery of like the skill and learning, relearning, having the humble moment to be like, you know what? Okay, yes, everybody's been pumping me up. I'm really good. I've been drawing for years. I don't even know the basics. No. Sometimes it's get to humble yourself, go back to the ABCs and realize, oh, I forgot that. Ooh, I forgot that. Ooh, like, I had so many moments. I was like, oh, that's why it looked like this. Okay. Because like, I've always had the fear of becoming an artist that like all your faces look the same. Or like all your stuff starts looking really similar. So I'm just like, ooh, let me go back, refresh myself. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun going back. I plan on taking more classes too. They ain't cheap, but you know, they got payment plans to work that out. but I really just want to invest in myself. Like
Mhm.
everything I'm doing, from the prints I sell, the canvases I have, like I meticulously look and like I said, I think stuff to death.
Mhm.
So like I research to death. Like before I do something, like I've definitely looked into it. Like my prints are like, I've been to like, I'm an anime nerd. I'm a weeb. I am. I will say that. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. We're an awesome community of people. And I remember going to ACON, and I remember going to different conventions, and like I remember having artist prints, and like the prints aren't always like the best quality. And like they're like the drawing would be beautiful, and like you would have to mat it or whatever. And I was just like, I want really good quality prints,
Mhm.
and I want them different from the quality of the rest that I've seen.
Mhm.
So literally I was on YouTube looking, and I got, I follow a lot of artists on every single platform.
Sure.
I'm watching a whole bunch of people, but 1000, he had a video about prints. And so he talked about Printivity. So that's where I get my prints through. But
Mm.
like a 100-pound cardstock, I put it on matte
Nice.
finish. It's 17 by 11 by 17. So
Mhm.
like it's a good size. So I was just like, I love these. And so when people get them, they love them because like they're really great quality. So I'm just like, the price I put on them is how much they cost. Like these are awesome. You're gonna enjoy it. And everybody has enjoyed the quality of the prints.
That's
I've had
great.
artists ask me, and that's one thing that I love doing too, is meeting other artists and being able to help people.
Mm.
Because like when people have questions like, "Where'd you get your prints from? What'd you do this? How did you get that?" And I'm just like, "Oh no, just talk," and I'll let them know. Like one thing I was running into whenever, especially following artists and hearing their stories,
Mhm.
that some artists are like, they don't want to tell you anything. There is a secret.
Mhm.
You don't need to know. You do your own research. I'm just like, look, no one draws like me. No one draws like you. No one draws like the next person.
Yeah.
Why am I going to be like, oh, I'm not gonna tell you nothing, my secret? Like for what? I'm like, if you're as good as you think you are, major big artist or whoever you are, if you're as good as you think you are, you can tell people anything that you need to tell them, and they can't outbeat you. They
Yeah.
they can't step on your toes
That's
because you're
the
great. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
I've actually come across that myself, and like I've had several interviews now with artists from all over the place, and a lot of people, have said that artists are always willing to share, but that's not really true.
yeah,
I have come across some people that I have followed for a really long time, and I just love their art. And I was like, oh, like they were making jewelry out of some of their paintings. And I was like, how do you do that? How are you doing that? What's your process? Would
no,
not tell me. It's like, I'm like, okay, my art doesn't look like your art. I promise I'm not competition.
yeah, it's like I'm not coming to come steal from you. I promise. But like, and that's the thing, is that I I love art. Like I love art, and I love artists. Like I love it. Period. So
Yeah.
if another artist has a question and it's like, hey, how did you do this? Or I'm curious about that. I'm forthcoming. Like I
Mm,
have zero problems providing that information.
yeah.
Like I've been on TikTok. This one artist had a comment that she's like, "Where'd you get your prints from?" And so I did like a whole little video, like tagging her in it, like, "Hey, this is how I did." And I'm just like, "This is the company. They're really good. They're really efficient. Like I love Printivity. They're amazing. They do great work. So if y'all want to use them, they're a great printing company. Even with all the craziness going on, I still get my prints good. They're great at communication. That's
Mm.
one thing I love. They show you proofs before everything is done, and
Oh.
they do great quality work. They really do. I probably have to show you in a minute. I keep talking about all different stuff. I ain't showing you nothing. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, I do a lot of research, and with talking to other artists, I realized I learned a lot, and I have a lot of knowledge. And I'm just like, I need to, I guess I'm gonna have to, like, eventually he comfortable being on camera. Like today, like when I tell you this interview in my mind, I'm just like, you could just kind of like make an excuse and see, just like because during the pandemic, like in 2020, like I was offered to do an interview and I chickened out. And I've regretted it ever.
Oh no.
Ever since, because I'm just like, you let fear talk you out of this when you could have started this 2 years ago and be further now.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're not going to beat up on ourselves. We just know that, hey, you say you're going to do this full time, you're going to do it. We're going to really do it. So any opportunity that comes, it's a yes, ma'am. It's going to be a yes. You're going to suck it up. No excuses. As soon as you hear that little, but you could, but you can't. Oh, no, but you cannot. But you cannot.
I'm so glad that you're bringing that up, because I feel like so many artists are like that. We all kind of have that in our heads, and we come up with these crazy reasons, to not do something. And see, like when you brought up that, being comfortable on video, like this whole podcast thing, this isn't like this isn't something that I'm like super comfortable with. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be, doing these interviews. It takes a lot for me to be like, okay, I had to remind myself, you really enjoy talking to these people. They're fun. You learn a lot. You're inspired by them. And you can do it. It's okay. Yeah. And I worry about like artists that I talk to, like yourself, to get on to the interview and being afraid of me. And I'm afraid to be on there with them.
We're all here right now. We're all sweating.
I'm like, okay, I try to make people feel comfortable, like it's really casual. Don't worry, it's okay. And I'm saying the same thing to myself. It's so funny.
But like, man, because all I had to say is that we had to get out of our own ways. We are creative people. Like, although it feels like there's so many artists, there really isn't. Because I'm just like, only so few do what we do or go as far as what we're doing. There's a lot of talented people that you will never know how talented they are. And you will never see it, and you'll have no idea. And the world will never know. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, we had to just put it into that perspective. It's like, we're given gifts. All of us, our gifts are different. Even if we're using the same medium, I don't care if you got a canvas, I got a canvas, they got a canvas, and they're painting, our interpretations and how we view the world and how we put things into our art forms is all. And I really feel like that fingerprint. I'm telling you, every artist is a fingerprint. We literally are. Because I could look at something and you could look at something and interpret it completely different and have it displayed in our art in whole different ways, different stories, and they just need to be told. And it's beautiful. And we should not be intimidated by one another or have this idea like, this is not sports. You know what I mean? Like, we're not all like, we gotta be number one. Like, no, like, we're all awesome. And what's funny, I did a live where I was talking about rapper energy. And I really want more artists to have rapper energy. And the reason why I say that, I'm for real. I know this sounds weird, but rapper energy. You will meet an artist and rapper who will be outside of Walmart selling his DVDs, right? His CDs, right? Don't know his name, never seen him before, never even heard the music. But he's just like, he has energy of like, I'm the best rapper. Check out this. Hey, buy my CD. And like like with me, I'm okay. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm one of those people who are like, I will buy anything if you advertise it to me and you put your heart into it. I would just like, in my heart, I'm just like, okay, I'll get one. So I gotta be better now that it's out there. People are gonna be like, buy my stuff. Like,
rapper energy, I love it.
Like, you never see a rapper who's like, oh, I'm mediocre.
No.
I'm okay. I'm all right. Like, no, like the rappers are like, I'm the best rapper alive. Forget so and so. I'm the best. And so like I feel like more artists should have that because most artists you'll see them and you're like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Is it? It's okay. Oh, you're an artist? You draw? Yeah, I draw. Or like it's even hard to even say I'm an artist.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
it
yeah.
takes a long time to get that because in your mind you feel like you got to be so far in your art to be an artist. No, you pick up a pad and pen every single day and you draw, you're an artist.
Yeah.
Okay. Like regardless of your skill level. But like we don't have that. And I really wish we had that rapper energy. Cause like dude is in his bathroom making his mixtape and he's the best rapper alive. But you're on social media, you've been posting for years and you can't even say you're an artist. Like, no. That's I'm just like, it's messed up. That's I'm just like, we all need rapper energy. We all need to be in our head like, I'm the best. I'm the best at this, what I do, and I'm amazing. And see my art. You should see it because I'm phenomenal. Check this out. It's that. That's me. Look at me. I'm awesome. Like, have it. Well, you don't have to blatantly say that out loud because it looks crazy. But in your mind, you should have that mentality to be like, I'm the best at what I do and how I do it. No one can do it like me. And that's the truth. No one can do it like you.
Yeah.
No one. And so that's the beauty within it. And I wish more of us had that, had that energy. And I'm just saying. So every time I say,
you are on it. That is on point. Like, and that's, one reason why I started this podcast, because I was like, I'm going to talk to all these different artists that are at different levels and see what they have to say. And across the board, I mean, I'm talking about older artists that have been like in galleries and showing like across the world, or, a student who is just starting, or someone like yourself who is like, you've gone part-time and now you need to really make this happen and you're like killing it, right? But it's every single one has that voice in their head where they're like afraid and not sure and doubtful and questioning. Like every day they'll go back to their work and be like, is that really any good? And I mean, it's just a constant process. And I hate to say that it never stops, but I feel like that voice is always going to be there, and it's learning to not listen to it and to change the voice, the way that you're saying.
Oh yeah.
So thank you so much for saying that, because I feel like, holy cow, you have given some great advice, and we have talked for so long. And I haven't gotten to ask you nearly half the questions I wanted to ask, but you pointed out so many wonderful things. And I just want to say thank you so much for talking to me. Thank you so much for coming on. And everyone, you have got to follow her. You have got to. So Osko.
Yes.
Right?
So at So_Osko on Instagram, TikTok. You definitely follow me, check me out, and I'm going to be more consistent with my lives.
Yes, do it. Don't worry about it, man. You have just like, this is a great interview. You've done an awesome job, and thank you so much for talking. You did fantastic. Oh my gosh, you've pointed out so many things that I just know that other artists are like, that's the stuff that's going through their heads, and they're like, to hear it from someone else, it sort of validates their own feelings and makes them say, like, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
And you're actually making opportunities happen for yourself, and you're killing it, and you're doing it. And that's the way to do it. That's just the way to do it.
Yeah. You have to put yourself out there. And what's the worst that can happen? I literally think all the time, what's the worst that they can happen? Are they going to beat you? No. So if they can't beat you, the worst that they can do is tell you no. Not bad. That's
Yeah.
not bad at all. You know?
Just go, like, ask, talk to people, network with people, ask and get involved. And thank you so much for listening to this episode of Art Talk with April. For more information on this episode, join the Facebook group, The Art Lounge. Please subscribe and share. See you next Tuesday. Hope you have a great week.